G'day guys, Clint here for dropshipsocial.com. Today I'm going to be talking about, the truth of what it actually costs to get a dropshipping store started, how much money you're going to need for everything between hosting all the way through to ad spend and courses. So with that, let's get started. Right, so how much do you need to get started? How much is it going to cost you? Dropshipping is probably one of the most, in a lot of ways, the most affordable business models, real business. You can get started for very, very little outlay. But the truth is, it's not zero. It's not $100. It's not even $200. To be fair, you're going to need a decent investment in the business to make it work successfully from the get-go, okay? So you don't need to have that instant win. You can work towards the win, okay? A lot of people who just get started, they fail straight up because they're not willing to invest enough to test and play with what you're doing. So let's get started. Let's look at your domain for 1 second. You can get a domain for, 10, depending on who you use, 10 to 30 bucks, right? That's just domain.com, .com.au if you're Australian. Can be a little bit more. You can get started with Shopify for free for 14 days, obviously. Hopefully you make a few sales, but unlikely because you've still got to build your store. But, you can start on the minimum package, which is only 29 bucks. And, that's per month. So that's one thing that you have to factor in. Make sure if you're working, you can budget 29 bucks into your weekly budget or monthly budget. You need to buy a decent theme. I don't use any of the free Shopify themes, and to be fair, that they're okay, but I always use what's called the booster theme, which has all these amazing optimizations if you use the normal theme or a cheaper theme, you'd have to install these apps and they'll cost you a bit more. I'll get into that in a second, but I always use the booster theme. Costs about 150 bucks. So right there, you're in for about 200 so far already. Now, if you don't know anything about building a website, Shopify is pretty easy to use, but it's not 100% done for you, simple, okay? So if you don't know anything about it, you're going to have to get someone to build you a website, and I recommend doing this anyway, because whenever you try and build your own, it just looks a bit dodgy, a bit cheap, a little bit tacky, okay? So you can get one done, you can probably get one done for about 500 bucks, a half decent one, from someone on Upwork or somewhere similar like that, maybe even Fiverr, maybe. But if you really want a decent one, a good one, you're looking at a bit between 1,000 and 2,000 bucks. But it'll be schmick, perfect, high quality images used. Everything's sized correctly. Color schemes are all taken care of. It will look like a high-end online store, comparable with anyone else out there. Okay, so between 1,000 and 2,000, if you're not willing to do it yourself, I recommend getting someone to do it. I've got VAs that my brother and I have trained now to do it the way we want it, but we're lucky that way. But that's taken a lot of money to get to that point. Okay, so we don't pay 1,000 bucks. We don't even pay 500. But anyway. Then there's the apps, the optimizing apps, all the little bits and pieces that optimize. I'm not going to dig deep into the apps now, but apps range between 10 to 30 bucks a month. So you can imagine you put 4 or 5 apps in a month, it starts to add up quick. Okay, you've got 4 or 5 optimizing apps, even at 10 bucks, that's an extra 40 bucks a month that you need to find at the, at the back end of each month out of your personal spend until you start making money. Okay, so these are all the things you need to factor in. Telephone, I use a company called Velox in Australia. It's prepaid. Per store, I use about 50 bucks a month. There's a lot of volume coming through there. That's 50 bucks a month just on incoming calls. And then I put another 20 bucks on Skype, usually roughly per store, for outgoing calls when I'm calling my customers and all that sort of stuff. Okay, So about 70 bucks a month for telephone bill, uploading products. So if you don't want, again, this is another time-consuming thing that I just can't be bothered doing. But you might have to. But if you don't want to, you can hire people to do it for between 30 cents, which at that level, they're probably going to stuff up regularly. But if you get to be realistic, it's between 50 cents and $1 to get any reasonable work done. Okay, otherwise you'll be hiring somebody on Fiverr or Upwork or wherever else who claims they can do it, and you'll have more problems than it's worth at 30 cents ish. It's not enough hours in the day at 30 cents for anyone to make any money who knows what they're doing. So per upload, if you've got 200 products, expect to pay between 100 and 200 bucks for uploads. Now this is a big one, ad spend, right? Let's get realistic, guys. If you don't have between $500 and $1,000 before you even get started, you need to start saving some money to get to that point, because there is testing involved. It's not just turning on the ads and making sales, right? There's a lot of testing involved. There's a lot of, and I guess scaling in a lot of ways to get your ads right. Okay, you're going to make a few mistakes. You're going to waste some money, and that's just how it is. This is just how business goes. When it's this learning curve, unless you're paying someone a lot of money to run your ads, which I don't necessarily suggest. I think you can learn it yourself. I think you should learn it yourself, and then when you do outsource it, you know what's happening. You're not getting ripped off. Okay, so ad spend, you're going to need in your pocket before you get started, in my opinion, between $500 and $1,000 to get started, to get practicing, to iron out any of the bumps, get all your negative keywords all sorted, and basically just be ready to go. Okay, so that's just my opinion. People might say differently, but I'm telling you how it is. $500 to $1,000, and then per month, once you've got all your ads sort of nice and squared away, you're going to need at least $400 a month. I spend way more than that on my stores because I do all sorts of different advertising models. I'm just talking about product listing ads at the moment. $100 a week, you'll get through that once you've got all your ads nicely optimized. So about $400 a month. So again, if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you need to factor all of this in. If you want to be successful, there is some money that needs to be spent. This is a business. This is no joke. Okay, nothing's free. That's the problem. That's the mindset you've got to have. You know that you have to spend some money to make some money. Yeah, so that's about it. Hopefully that $1,000 budget that you've got will get you there. That in theory that could last a month or 2 months, and then you're making a few sales and everything starts going smoothly. But you might have to wait it out. It might take you 3 or 4 months to get to the point where you're winning. Okay, so you're gonna make sure in your budget, if you want to succeed, you've got enough money in the back, to be able to spend sensibly without putting yourself out to invest in your business to make it work. Lastly, there's courses. Again, if you don't want to do all of this, there's some courses. You can invest in a course and learn how to do all this yourself, and they range from $100 to $4,000, whatever. So it's up to you. I mean, you can find them in Udemy and other places. I'm not going to go into the courses. I can't be bothered. But there's tons of courses out there, dropshipping courses, and they'll teach you kind of step by step on how to do things. Some are better than others. But at the end of the day, what I've just laid out there is the general costs, and it's the truth. This is what you'll be looking at, guys. This is the real deal, and expect to spend some money. If you don't have that initial advertising ad spend, I suggest you save it before you even get started. So that's about it, guys. So that's if you want to find out more, you want to reach out to me, head over to dropshipsocial.com. That's a free social media platform that we've built for like-minded entrepreneurs. Hundreds of people over there chatting and connecting. It's a really good spot. If you like the vid, give me a thumbs up, and obviously subscribe to the channel. And until next time, keep living the dream, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.